So if you felt left out from the Mavic 2 Pro videos with the veritable ND filters, luckily Freewell has us covered. They've recently released new filters for the Mavic 2 Zoom. We're going to be taking a look at them, comparing them to the DJI filters today, so stick around. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. My name's Original Dobo, and if this is your first time here on my channel, I do drone and tech related videos. I do vlogs and tutorials, so if you're into that type of thing, be sure to hit that subscribe button at the end of the video. Like I said, today we're gonna be taking a look at the freewell ND filters. These are the veritable ND filters for the Mavic 2 Zoom. I'm really excited about these because the Mavic 2 Zoom doesn't have a veritable aperture, and this is about as close as you're going to be able to get with just having two filters. Now this gives us 9 stops of light reduction, and we're gonna test it out here. It's a fairly bright day, and I'm gonna test it 2 different ways. I'm gonna test it against the DJI filters. I'm gonna test it with these filters, and then I'm gonna go a step further and do it with no filters so you can see what it looks like across the board. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we're going to test this with no filter. I just wanna get a good baseline to see how it's going to look, make sure that there's no cross polarization, make sure there's no color shift. Those are all important things when we're talking about ND filters. And it's actually been a while since I've flown this drone, so let me make sure I actually have it over in video. I didn't even have it in video. All right. And I think for this video, I usually fly in decent alike, but I think I'm just gonna fly in regular so that way you guys can see how it's going to look with no color profile, no color grade. That was fast. Okay, now we have the ND16 from DJI. We're just gonna take a look. We're gonna run the same course directly towards that island and see if there's any sort of color shift with this. I definitely gotta tone back my shutter speed because before I was running at like 2500 on the shutter. And with this one, I can do right about 100. This is an ND16, just so you know. Not as good as the first time. Yeah. All right, so now I've got the freewell veritable ND filter on here. Now there is 9 stops of light reduction with these filters because you get 2 filters. You get a 2 to 5 and a 6 to 9 stop. Now I started out with the 2 to 5 and it just wasn't quite right. Now previously I had the DJI ND16 on there and I could have put the ND32 on, but then it would be not enough light for the scenario we're in right now. So one of the nice things about the veritable ND filters is that it really lets you dial in to the correct amount of stops that you need. It's almost as good as having an aperture. Granted, you can't use these when it's in the air, but it's pretty darn close and it's the best you're going to find. And that's sort of why I've stopped using normal ND filters, because you're really sort of contracted to set stoppages, and as to where this, I can just sort of turn it, dial it in, make sure I got the right amount of light, make sure my shutter is good, and I'm good to go. So we'll see how this looks, see if there's any color shift or any X patterns. That's my main concern, is X patterns or color shift. It's notorious with these types of ND filters. So let's see how this does. Does that count? I think that counts. Alrighty, so now that we've got all this done, I need to go ahead and take a look at this footage. Now, one good thing about the smart controller is that it's really color accurate. I'm gonna be able to play back all this footage and be able to see if there's any sort of discrepancies. So much like an umpire, I need to go in the truck where I get good shielding from sunlight and make a good call. Alrighty guys, so after looking over the footage, I don't see any color shift, I don't see any polarization, I don't see any X pattern. The quality is just the same as it was on the Mavic 2 Pro filters, and I think they work really well. I like the fact that I can dial this into the scene, and this is a very bright, contrasty scene today. You can probably tell the sun's just beating on me, so there was a lot of light, and this was nice to just have one filter, dial it back, and as the sun starts setting, you can go ahead and adjust the filter for that scene as well. That's nice to not have to take them on and off constantly, which is a big deal to me. Color-wise, I think the color looked well. There's enough of saturation, it wasn't washed out. The blues look great, they look natural. I really didn't notice much of a difference between this and a DJI filter, or even without a filter for that matter. So at this point, I think all filters are pretty much doing a good job. So no matter if you go with a Freewell brand or another brand, I think you're going to be okay. But me personally, these are really cost effective, and they work well, and to only have 2 filters that do more than your typical DJI 4-pack or even that of Polar Pro is a big win in my book. I'll have links down in the description if you want to check these out. But anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe, and as always, stay original.